Hello, hello. Can you hear me in the background? Please let me know if you can hear me on the old YouTube and also the old Twitch. I know people tend to watch me on both platforms, so wherever you're watching from, do let me know if you can hear me. That would be great. Thank you for confirming on YouTube. That is much appreciated. I think audio-wise we should be pretty good to go. So let's get everything ready. Okay. Let's turn that on. Let's turn that on. Can everyone see me? I think they can. Awesome. Welcome to today's stream where, as the title probably suggests, we are going to be putting together some Skorpekh Destroyers. Being new to this as well, just a quick sort of caveat, I suppose. Do expect mispronunciations of, well, most things with regards to Warhammer. So I'm going with Skorpekh. Okay, so if I got that wrong, I apologise in advance. But yeah, we are going to be putting together the 3 Skorpekh Destroyers from the 500 Worlds box set that I got. How long ago was it now? Was it like 4-5 weeks ago when it first came out? I can't remember. But yeah, long overdue. I've got my brand new Hobbycraft kit as well. I've been using the good old clippers that I got free with the introductory set for quite a while now, and you know, they've done me well. They've done what they needed to do, but in terms of mold lines and all the other good bits and pieces, yeah, they've just not been fit for purpose. So I'm just moving some stuff out the way now. Probably should have got all of this prepared before we started on the old stream, but it doesn't matter. I've got my knife there. I've got my file there, my craft knife, my tweezers. So yeah, we're pretty much good to go, guys. Yeah, so if you are new around here, this might be the first time you're tuning in off the back of the Bricky video I done recently. It seems to have done really well, to be fair. I'm very, very, very happy with it. So yeah, if you are new, do make sure you drop a like on the stream if you're watching from YouTube. Make yourself aware in the chat. And that goes for the same on Twitch. Make yourself aware. Let me know you're here. Maybe you're working on some projects of your own at the moment. So yeah, let me know what you're working on. That would be great. I don't know if these are clip fit, if that makes sense, or if they are going to need to be glued. But if they need to be glued, I've got my glue ready, so it doesn't matter. But we're going to just jump straight into this. No messing about at all. And we're going to have a look here, straight here at 2A. I know it says to put this together first. Is plasmacite, but we're going to do that later. We'll do that afterwards. I'm more interested in getting these Skorpekh Destroyers put together. And it's telling me to look, surprise, surprise, at part number 1. So as long as I've got the right sprue out of the box, which I think I have, it's this one right here. And that's the first time I've used these clippers. And they seem to clip quite well, actually, to be fair, from Hobbycraft. we've got piece number 1 here. Let's have a quick look to see if any of this needs to be filed down, which unfortunately it does. But it is what it is. It doesn't matter. So yeah, if you are watching on Twitch or YouTube, let me know. What projects are you working on at the moment, if you're working on any? What armies are you building, assembling, painting? Where are you at? Let me know what you're currently doing. That would be awesome. I know a lot of the people that watch this channel, it tends to have different armies. We've had people come here and they've got Astra Militarum. I got one guy, Alex, who likes to build Iron Warriors. Got another guy who is building an Orc army at the moment. We're on Twitch. I'm going to go there. It's the same name, Chaplin JC, over on Twitch. There should be a link over on my YouTube page for the Twitch stuff. There we are. Perfect. Yes. I just seen you pop up on Twitch. So depending on which platform you prefer to watch live streams on, make sure you drop me a follow. That'd be much appreciated. Sadly, haven't got the time. Oh, no worries. Yeah, I appreciate that not everyone's got the time to be here. I thank you for dropping by and saying hello. I do appreciate that. And unfortunately, we can see here straight away, we've got a bit of a horrible, I don't know if you can see that, horrible little, right there on the corner. Nasty. But it is what it is. That's piece number 1, which we're going to pop just to the side there so that we can get piece number 2 out. First thing, we need rewards and points. Best thing for Twitch. You're absolutely right. The funny thing is, with Warhammer and streaming, I am just as new to streaming as I am Warhammer. So I need to work out some of the things on my to-do list with streaming is reward points and some music in the background. So those are on my to-do list so that I can keep people happy, if you will. Second thing, I'm a forehead for Warhammer. I read the books and watch the videos, but don't have the time for the actual game, regrettably. I'm actually... Oh, cool. Yeah, no, it doesn't matter. Everyone's different, isn't it? You know, some people do have the time for the game. You know, as it stands right here, right now, you know, I'm fortunate enough to have time for the game. But whether that changes in the future, I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. We will have to wait and see. A lot of your time goes into that and your law degree. Lawhead, not forehead. I read it forehead as well. That was the funny thing. Winifred, how we doing, mate? Yeah, all good, bro. How are you doing as well? What are you working on at the moment? How are you spending your Sunday evening, my friend? Not autocorrect hates me right now. Yeah, I get the feeling. I've had a few too many messages that I've sent that have been auto-corrected, not so nice. This is clipped quite nicely, this piece here. So we're pretty lucky on that front. We'll file that last little edge down there. See how we're doing. Yeah, the vids that you sent me, so I don't know if you've revisited the video or the comment section on the video that I posted, but I've had like over 250 comments on the video, which for a new channel with, at the time of posting the video, I think I had barely 50 subscribers at the time, and I was averaging maybe like a handful of comments on the videos. So it was a tad overwhelming. Not your comment specifically, but just the comments in general. And I think every single person that commented had like a suggestion, and there was like a core group of videos and channels that kept coming up. So what I've done is I have sort of created not a spreadsheet, but like a list of things that I want to do moving forward. So as an example, my plan is I'm probably going to watch a couple more of the Bricky videos and film it. Film the reaction with like my questions and whatever, like I did with the last one. And then after that, I'm going to move on to the Astartes animation and secret level. Because those are the ones that I'd spoken to people about previously. And then after I've done that, which I should hopefully get done in the next couple of weeks, I'm going to move on to the suggestions that everyone else made. So I think there was like Warhammer, there was Luton, there was Adeptus Ridiculous. I'm definitely missing some. I've got probably a good like 10 to 15 channels that people have recommended, which I've subscribed to all of them. Arbiter Ian is another one. But what I don't want to do is this is going to sound really odd now, but I don't want to like contaminate what I'm doing until I've got like a base level of the lore. And then once I've got that, I'm going to start jumping into like the Lutons and the Wes Hammers and the Arbiter Ians and the Adeptus Ridiculous stuff, where the stuff's going to be a lot more long-winded and a lot more detailed, and go from there basically. But I've had so many suggestions, man. It's been insane in a good way. Matt Sarf, hey bro, how we doing? Thanks for dropping in. Ken as well, thanks for dropping by. Really do appreciate everyone coming here and showing their support. I really do appreciate it. Thank you very much. Winifred, been doing well besides being ill over the weekend. Ah, man, that sucks. Hopefully you're feeling better. I don't know if you've got work tomorrow, but if you do, hopefully you're feeling a little bit better this evening, ready for work tomorrow, because I know how much that sucks being ill over the weekend. So yeah, fingers crossed you're feeling a little bit better. Bricky gives a kind of funny, easy-going entrance to Warhammer if you don't get confused by the memes. Yeah, I haven't seen too many memes just yet, as I am pretty new. But as it stands, I'm okay on that front. So we shall wait and see. So we have got this here, like that. I believe it goes like this. Let's have a look. Right, it goes like that, like this, through there. Oh, this looks like push fit stuff as opposed to glue. I don't know if it's all push fit, but this first piece here is push fit, which is quite nice. And it's now just working out which way this one goes. I believe it goes a little bit like, is it like that or like that? I want to say like that. That looks relatively... Okay, that looks good. That looks good there. Right, okay, back to the comments. Let's have a look here. You're welcome. Thank you. I'm bronzing my scarabs. How are the destroyers? Yeah, just started as destroyers. You say we're on literally step 1. We've just assembled the first 3 pieces. So we'll see how it goes this evening. Whereas Luton dives deep. Yeah, I don't know much about these YouTubers, but I have had a look at their channels when they were suggested. And I've noticed that some of these channels, some of their videos are quite literally, like some go from 20 minutes long up to 2 hours, and they've got quite literally hundreds upon hundreds of videos on their channels. And a lot of them have got like nearly 1 million subscribers, and their videos have got hundreds of thousands. Some of them have got in the millions of views. So I'm assuming they're pretty good at what they do, and they're pretty accurate in the accounts they give on the lore. But that's like I said, I've been given the names of like 10, 15 channels, so I've got to work out now which ones are going to be best for the way I want to perceive the universe. I envy the time and patience needed at what you're doing. Yes, it can be fun. A lot of people don't like doing the assembly part of miniatures. As it stands, maybe it's because I'm new. I don't actually mind it, but this is like I want to say either my third, fourth, or fifth miniature that I've assembled. So maybe because I'm so new to it, the ignorance hasn't quite worn off yet to the point where I don't actually like the assembly of these miniatures, because I'd say like 80-90% of people I've spoken to have either tuned in, or other communities that I've tuned into, they hate doing the assembly part. So patience is good right now as it stands, shall we say. Oh yeah, don't contaminate, find your footing and then branch out as you see fit. It's always the best way. Yeah, that's exactly it. I want to just get like a nice baseline understanding of things first before I start, like, because when I've looked at some of these channels that people have suggested, there are so many different areas of the timeline where you've either got, like, I don't know, for example, there's like a certain event or a certain war or a certain Primarch that's returned, or the Horus Heresy, or whatever it may be. It's so easy to get lost in kind of like where to go. And one other thing I've noticed with the Bricky reaction video that I've done, a lot of people, and do excuse my French here, a lot of people have like slagged Bricky off because he gets a lot of the lore wrong. But as far as I'm concerned, for someone who's a noob, for lack of better words, and doesn't know anything about the universe, it doesn't really matter too much if I'm watching a few videos where things are wrong, but then in the future I watch some videos whereby I get caught up on what I should know. I think it'll be okay. All right, so I think this piece here goes in there like, I want to say like that. It's not clipping in very well though. Hold the old horses whilst I try and work this out. Right, so that's supposed to go over the shoulder by the looks of it. I am trying to get it to the comments as best we can. Do you have any prior experience to building miniatures before 40K? No, this is the first time. I've never done it before. I did a stream, I want to say last week. And it was to assemble Necron Skorpekh, or however you say his name. And yeah, that was a pretty interesting stream. I found that particularly difficult at times. But yeah, it was all right in the end. And I've just realised I need to glue this, and I've got it into place, which is rather annoying. I'm going to have to unclip it now to put it back. What made Necrons cool to you as your favourite faction? It's a really boring answer, I'm afraid. I wish I had a better answer to give you, but I just went with the bog standard rule of cool. And what I've said to a few people who have tuned into some of the other live streams is, And this is easier said than done for an expensive hobby. And this is not to say that I'm loaded or I've got like some really cool job that pays well. I'm an average Joe, and I definitely can't do this now. But when I first got into the hobby a couple of months ago, my my initial plan was to build a Necron army for the Xenos faction, an Ultramarine army for the Space Marine army or the Loyalist army, and then for the Chaos Space Marine side of things, I wanted to go Red Corsairs. So I was going to build like 3 armies basically. And then I realised how much this bloody hobby cost. So I defaulted to the one that I thought was most cool, which is Necrons. And that was after buying the introductory box set and putting together a couple of Space Marines. So I do have some Space Marines. But I think, 5 Space Marines and the Tyranids that come with it. And then because I played Space Marine 2, the game, I also picked up the Titus box set as well from 500 Worlds, just for being a Space Marine fan. Space Marine 2 fan. I really wanted to pick up the box set for that, being a bit of a fanboy. But yeah, really boring answer, I'm afraid. Literally just rule of cool. How did everyone else get into their factions that they're either building armies for or watching lore for? What was the reasons you guys got into those particular factions, shall we say? Oh, 2 seconds. I've just realised I've left the glue in the other room. I'm going to be literally 10 seconds. Right, guys, I'm back. I do apologise. I took everything out in anticipation for the stream, and then Poxy, silly boy, I forgot my glue. And for you eagle-eyed viewers, you probably see me sneak off in my my pajama bottoms as well, being a chilled Sunday evening and all that. Honestly, yeah, gonna be fine. Listen to the same piece of information so many times from various sources. At some point, you will build your knowledge. Yeah, well, that's the thing, isn't it? You know, when you follow like so many different channels who are all trying to like build a following, doing the same thing, eventually, I suppose, what you're going to end up doing is just a different voice, telling the same story in a slightly different way. So I do get it. I suppose at that point, it's a case of finding which voice suits your... Oh, you can tell when I'm concentrating because I go silent. Yeah, at that point, it's a case of finding which voice or style suits the way they tell the story to your liking the most. Which at this stage, I have absolutely no idea what that is, because I've tried to untaint myself with all of the channels that are available. I'm probably going to end up falling into the same... I think trap is probably the wrong word, but falling into the same trap that everyone else does in following, the bigger channels, which, there's no harm in doing that, because, they're bigger channels for a reason. They tell the story in the best way, or maybe their research is best so that the lore that they're talking about is the most accurate, which is what people want, right? You don't want people sharing lore and it being completely wrong. Necrons are cool. I really like Eldar and Nurgle, but Orcs for sure seem to be the faction I'm having most fun with. Funny you should say that, Ken. Orcs and Necrons were like neck and neck for me. Orcs were like an extremely close second to Necrons in terms of the rule of cool, just for the sheer bananas of the of the orcs. I think if I ever got to a point where I've got a Necron army at a stage where I'm like really happy with, I don't know, the amount of points I've got, or the fact that I've got nearly all of the different miniatures, from a Xenos point of view, orcs would definitely be my next choice. 100%. I'm going to go orcs. I just love how crazy they are. Have you been recommended secret level episode for 40k that takes place directly after Space Marine 2? It's called And They Shall. Yes, it has been recommended to me. I'm not sure if it was yourself, Win, actually, that recommended it to me on one of the YouTube comments that you left for the last video. But if it was yourself that left that comment, I added it to my list of videos to watch and do a reaction to. So I'm not sure if you were here when I explained this just a moment ago, but the plan is to watch maybe 1 or 2 more Bricky videos just to get more of a baseline understanding of the lore. And then I'm probably going to watch, in no particular order, the Astartes animation as well as the secret level animation as well. So they're on my list of 4 or 5 videos that I want to watch next. I haven't seen it, but a lot of people commented to watch it, both secret level and Astartes animation. So I'm looking forward to giving that a watch. I have a bias for a lesser known chapter known as the Storm Wardens, as they are Celtic or Celtic, and I'm Scottish, so it fits. I think I remember that comment actually on YouTube when you left it. I think I recommended you joining the Discord and maybe sharing some pictures of the miniatures that you end up eventually buying and painting. So for anyone who is working on any projects at the moment, like myself, we have a Discord. There are like 8 or 9 people in there at the moment, and there are a number of different channels whereby people post their sort of like work in progress miniatures, whether it be assembly, painting, whatever. We all give each other advice, constructively, of course. People who may need help. So feel free to jump in. No pressure if it's not your thing. Obviously, don't worry about it. But if you fancy it and you want to share some of your projects, then feel free to get involved. Was not myself. I recommended Astartes, but that also... Yeah. I knew you recommended one or the other. I couldn't remember which one it was. Righty then. So, we need to clip out part number... Nope, we haven't done that bit yet. What am I on about? Yes. Then I should choose Wolves by reason as I'm Danish. For real. I would love to build an army, but won't for another few months. I have more time. There we are. Yeah, there's no... That's the good thing about this, is there's no right or wrong time of when to jump into this. You've just got to do it when you're ready, especially for a hobby that costs so much money. I've been to university myself. I know how much university costs. So, you've got to jump into it at the right time for sure. There we go. That is the body of Skorpekh Destroyer number 1 glued together, which is quite nice. Before we move on to part 2B, I am trying my best to keep up with your comments. This is all new to me, so I will get there. I will send some Necron painting updates later. Yes, please do. Please do send some updates over in the Discord. Drop a like on the old stream as well whilst you're at it, guys, for the purpose of the algorithm. You know how these things are. Helps get the stream out there to new people. But for those of you that have come along and are getting involved in the chat, massively appreciate it. But let's get back to the old assembling of the Skorpekh Destroyer. So we've got part number 8 here. Oh no, we need to turn that round. Bum, 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 bum. Right, so that's number 8. And then we also need number 7, which is that piece there. This has been, I don't want to jinx it, but so far, this has been pretty straightforward. So far. Yeah, we can get some of these put together today. And then what I will hopefully do is once we've got, because I think there's 3 of these that came in the box set. So hopefully we can get all 3 put together today. And then in the next stream, potentially midweek, if not next weekend, I'll prime them off stream. There's no point in me doing a stream where I'm sat there priming a bunch of plastic. I'll prime them off stream, and then they'll be ready then for an actual paint job. I'll prime them. I'm split in 2 minds at the moment. I've seen loads of videos online for Necron paint jobs, if you want to call it that. Some have primed them in lead belcher, which is what I did with Necrosaurus. And then others have primed them in black. And I'm sort of leaning more towards priming them in black. And the reason I say that is all of the the little recesses and stuff that are not as necessarily like more difficult to get to with the paintbrush, but like all those sort of like dark areas where the shade would like naturally sit. When you prime them black, it's much easier to just leave those areas black. Whereas if I prime them lead belcher silver, I would have to then go in with, say, like Abaddon black or something of that nature to get into the little areas with something. But I'm open to advice and suggestion on this, because as I say, I've painted 1 Necron and I could be completely wrong. So feel free to advise me the best you can for anyone who's done any of this stuff sort of before. Actually could be awesome to build a black dragon army with mutations and all. No codex for it though, I think. See, this is where my lore limitation comes in. I have absolutely no idea who Black Dragon is in terms of an army. I would have to go and look that up. I'm assuming from what you're saying, Black Dragon army with mutations. Does that mean they're a chaos? Are they a chaos faction? A chaos sub-faction? Or were they part of the second founding? And they're like a chapter under one of the other Space Marine factions, if that makes sense. Until now, I only primed him in lead belcher. Next ones will prime black to understand which I see. I'm exactly the same. I don't know which one I like the most at the moment, because I primed my Space Marines black, and I've since seen videos where people have primed them white and used contrast paint, and they look awesome. So I'm very split. Very, 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 very split in what to do. Oh, that seems pretty straightforward. Dun, dun, dun. Has anyone else assembled Skorpekh Destroyers before? As well? That'd be good to know if anyone has. Just found you through the timeline video. Really excited to see your journey into 40k. Oh, thank you very much, Thomas. Really appreciate you dropping by after watching the reaction video. Like the channel suggests, I am very new to the hobby. I've just started building a Necron army. What is it that you follow in this Warhammer universe? Are you someone that just likes the games? Are you someone that just likes the lore? Do you collect and build the miniatures? Maybe a mixture of the above, potentially. Black Dragons are a loyalist space marine chapter with bone mutations. Oh, that sounds pretty cool, actually. Every time I do a stream, people say stuff just like this. I end up having to make note of it, and then off stream, I end up having like 4 or 5 things that I end up looking into. I've got like a whole bunch of tabs on my bookmark bar that I've saved after stream in order to have a look at the stuff that's mentioned. So I am going to look at, you can probably see me off stream now. Hold on, Black Dragons. I've got my mouse. Black Dragons chapter. There we are. I've just put that in the background so that I can have a look at it off stream, because they sound pretty cool, to be honest with you. They sound like really, really cool. I don't know how long some of you have been into the hobby, and how long it took you guys to get a good like baseline understanding of things. But how much, the question I'm sort of going with here is like, how much did you enjoy being what is referred to as a newbie in the hobby? Like, how much did you enjoy sort of like having so much to sort of explore and find out and work out what you liked and what you didn't like? How much of it, is it something you miss or not so much? Okay, I think that's number 1 done. I do apologise for the crackling by the mic a sec. I'm just opening the packet of bases. Apologies. Alright, so we need to find one that has two holes in it. This one looks like it's got 2 holes in it, which is good. Put those over there. Was Space Marine 2 a big help in you getting into the hobby? Also, have you looked into playing the first one? So to answer the second part of that question, I haven't played the first one, but I do want to. I've got a pretty mid-range gaming laptop, which I use for streaming as an example. So I could potentially look at playing it sometime in the future. I'm a massive gamer. So to answer the first part of your question, before Christmas, I was at a point where like a lot of the video games that I was playing, I'd like either completed or I was like most up to date with them. And with it being that time of year where there's like a lot of sales for games, Space Marine 2, when it came out a couple of years prior to December, was a game that I quite liked the look of, but never ended up actually buying, because there were other games that I was playing at the time, right? And then I got to December last year, and everything, as I say, all the games I was playing at the time, they were all, I'd completed most of them, or I was up to date with most of them, and I was like, right, yeah, let me get Space Marine 2, it's on sale. And then off the back of that, because I watched basically like a whole bunch of like trailer videos and like gameplay videos on YouTube for Space Marine 2. And then when I was logging into YouTube like later, YouTube started recommending to me like Warhammer lore videos. And for a while, I just didn't watch any of them. I was just, no, not interested. And then eventually, it was being recommended to me so much, I was like, do you know what? I'm going to watch one of these. And I can't remember what I watched at first, because it was just like random recommendations. And it's just kind of spiraled out of control there. So from what was a lack of games to play in December, has turned into a new hobby, which is absolutely insane. But I'm grateful for it, because I've loved every second of it so far. I actually got into 40K through tabletop RPG game called the Black Crusade based on the 40k universe and got into the lore and books from there, and I enjoy some of the video games too. Yeah, I've got some of the books. I'm 40 to 50 pages off finishing Horus Rising, so I've got the first 3 books in the Heresy book series. I've also got the first 3 books for, is it Dark Imperium? I've also got the Eisenhorn Omnibus. I've got the Infinite and Divine and the Twice Dead King, I think it's called. So I've got 8 or 9 books, and I've nearly finished the first one. So off the back of playing Space Marine 2, I've ended up buying Dark Tide, Rogue Trader, Mechanicus, Bolt Gun, 9 books, and probably about 300 quid's worth of miniatures. So I've dived in, like, as they say, and again, do excuse my French, but I've gone balls deep, to put it one way, shall we say. I loved knowing that nothing. I loved knowing nothing, and then still feeling like I know nothing after being in the hobby for over 3 years, because that's how much lore there is in this universe. Yeah, it's mad. Like I said, when I looked at, I think it was it Luton's channel, Wes Hammer's channel, and I want to say Arbiter Ian's channel. When I looked at the amount of videos they had that weren't just like, it wasn't them just repeating stuff. There were so many different subjects and characters and events and wars and XYZ, etc., etc. It's insane. So I'm not surprised that you say that, Wilfred, that after 3 years you still feel like you're not necessarily a noob, but you know what I mean. Space Marine 2 is my second favourite game of all time, only being beaten by Red Dead. Yeah, Red Dead Redemption is absolutely quality. It's really, really, really good. But I love Space Marine 2. I can't wait for the Tech Marine update to come out at the end of this month. I'm really looking forward to that. Like, super, super, super looking forward to that. To the point where I'm in 2 minds whether or not to buy. There's like a miniature that you can buy on the Games Workshop website. I think it's literally just a Tech Marine character. So I'm very, very tempted to buy it. But we shall see. We shall see. So we're on to the second Skorpekh Destroyer after completing the first one. For anyone who is interested, there he is. I'll give him a little twist and a turn now. I'm trying to make sure the camera's in focus for everyone to see it properly. But that is the first one done. I've got 2 more to do now. Yeah, I'm not too sure how many people in the chat are into their video games. I know it's not everyone's cup of tea, but whether it's Warhammer or not, you know, what are you playing at the moment? What are some of your favorite video games ever? Full stop. I'm a massive like looter shooter, grindy type person. I think that's one of the reasons I ended up getting Space Marine 2 is after you complete the campaign, there's that big grind to get all of the different tokens to basically upgrade a lot of like your weapons and unlock different types of armor and all that kind of thing. And you got to do it through each of the different classes. Like, I'm a massive fan of that type of replayability, if you want, in games. So, but yeah, let me know what does everyone play? What is everyone interested in? You know, what do people do outside of Warhammer as well? I'm sure people do stuff outside of Warhammer. Right, so we need piece number 18, which is right there. Yep. And we need to turn these around. There's always those little fiddly bits. You can tell when I'm concentrating because I go very quiet. This is a son of a... Look at that. Look how close they've got that sprue there. There we go. That was annoying. Funny, I've been aware of Warhammer since 96. Jeez, that's a long time. And I've just nerded short stories, lore bits, lore channels from there. Never played, never painted. Though someday, when I'm not living in a truck 5 days a week. Oh, but it's whenever you're ready. There's no rush, is there really? No rush at all. No rush at all. And I love the fact that you said, and just nerded shorts. I'm a huge nerd myself. You know, I'm sat here wearing a football training kit right now. But let me tell you, I am a massive, massive nerd. Humongous nerd. How much time have you put into Space Marine 2? That's a good question. So I play on the PlayStation 5 because when I say I've got a gaming laptop, it's like a mid-range gaming laptop. So it probably would play Space Marine 2, but in terms of like graphics, frame rates and how smoothly it would run, I'm not confident that it would be very good. So I play it on my PlayStation 5. And I think, I want to say I've got like maybe 50 to 70 hours in the game from December-ish. It would have been late November, early December when I picked it up, sometime around then. What about yourself? How many hours have you got into the game? Still knowing nothing. Only just seen that comment, Ken. Brilliant, brilliant. From 96 till now. It just goes to show how deep this universe is. Alex, my man, how we doing, bro? I'm glad you could join us on Twitch, my friend. I'm very well. How's it going? How's the Iron Warriors army going for you? It sounds like you're as we said on Discord, the Iron Warriors and all of their followers, they're going to be eating very well this year. Some of the drops they've had are very nice. Slightly jealous, to be honest with you. Not that I'm jealous of the fact that I've just had a bunch of Necron 500 World stuff drop. But yeah, some of those Iron Warriors drops, those two characters, the Defiler and what's the other one called? Can't remember now, but they look really cool. Like super, super, super cool. Right, number 19. Where are we? Number 19 is that number 9? Yep, that's number 19. I have to say, just going off topic a second, these clippers and this file that I've got from Hobbycraft, for those of you that are based in the UK, you'll know what Hobbycraft is. I paid like £7, I think, for this set. Came with a file, clippers, crafting knife. It's like night and day in terms of how good they are, to be honest with you, compared to the introductory stuff that I got. I've been playing since release, and you've got 500 hours. Fair play. I've got games that I've played where I've got over 500 hours. I'm just not quite there yet with Space Marine 2. Does that mean, like, when you say 500 hours, like how much, you know the character progression at end game through like PvP, operations, siege mode? Have you basically have you completed all of the things, if that makes sense? Like all of the upgrades and stuff, ready for when the Tech Marine comes out. And as Ken says, that is dedication for the Emperor. Absolutely, as they say. Chest smash for the Aquila. I know that much. Right, number 21. 21, that's 22, 25, 29, 20. Where's 21? Am I blind? Oh, there it is, all the way down there. It's bloody miles away compared to where I was just cutting. Talk about confuse me. Jesus Christ. Just move that to the side a second. sometimes you just know life a game because of the enjoyment, not compared to my 1,000 hours in Red Dead Redemption. Oh, Winifred, mate, I fully understand the no life in games. Like I said earlier, I am a massive looter shooter, grindy geezer when it comes to video games, and I have put, I'm not joking now, like over 1,000 hours into the Destiny games, Destiny 1 and 2, the same with the Division 1 and 2, and again the same with the Borderlands series, like bordering on the edge of like sad. The amount of hours I've put into it. So Bruce, mate, hi, how you doing? 36 years of 40k here. My lord, fair play. I'm 38 years old. So fair play to you. Fair play. That's awesome. That's really, 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 really good going. We were just talking about, Bruce, we were just saying like how long people had been in the hobby for, and whether or not they feel like when they were first in the hobby, would they like to be back at that place now where they don't know anything and they get to like explore the universe again from zero? Is that something that you would you be interested in something like that, or are you quite happy where you are now? Do you think you have what I would class as expert knowledge? Not that there is such a thing, but you know why I'm going with it. I have not done everything because it is a grind. From what I've heard, yeah, it's a massive grind, but 70% of it's still pretty good. I've not even touched PvP myself, to be honest with you. So, yeah, I do get that. I do get it. I'm not much of a PvP type guy, to be honest with you. I don't really play many PvP games. It's just not my jam. It never has been. I've obviously played PvP games and tried them. But yeah, they're just not my jam. You've been in it since 2nd edition. Would I have an interest in 40k if I learned it today? Yeah, so let's just say, for example, like clean slate, you're starting again, you know, like how, like, would you feel overwhelmed? Like what would be your approach to it, you know? Bruce basically has the knowledge of the Emperor himself. Yeah, fair play. Thank you, Winifred. I don't know all of the lore. There's so much. Yeah, there is a lot of lore. Sorry, I'm just poking my head under my table a second to make sure my dog isn't eating my charger wire. She's quite a bundle of energy, to say the least, shall we say. Okay, right. Piece number 23. Where are we? So piece number 23, I believe. Is it piece number 23? Or am I going mad? So I've done that bit. I've just done that bit. So do we do this bit next? Or do we do this bit first? Oh, right, we do this bit first. Right, yeah, okay. So 22 and 23. So 23 is there. Bruce, I'll read your comment first. I can say that if I saw the Astartes or And They Shall No Fear or the original Dawn of War cinematic, I would have interest. The minis are ungodly expensive these days, though. Do you know what? You say that. I have no prior knowledge to like how much stuff cost like before, say now. And it sounds like a sad state of affairs, really, in terms of like Games Workshop sort of taking advantage of people that have such a deep love for the hobby, which is a real shame, to be honest with you, because I don't know what prices were like 10, 15, 20, 30 years ago, say. But you're not the first person to mention that, and it's a real shame because it really just gatekeeps people from being able to get into the hobby as well. Like, the box set that just came out for the Red Corsairs is like 160 quid for, I think it's like 36 minis. I'm a massive Red Corsairs fan, and I've already spent a couple of £100 on minis, and I just can't justify spending that much more money on minis, really. And I'd love to get it. 2 seconds, my dog's going nuts on my wire. 2 secs. There we are. I'm back. My dog was just going crazy on my charging wire for stuff. I didn't want her to knock the camera over. Used to be able to get 5 lead minis for $750 US, then 2 plastic minis, then it was like 10 minis for 30, now 1 mini for 45. That's mad, isn't it? This hobby, there are a lot of time and money, even though the law, yeah. Or 10 minis for like 70 quid. So expensive. Yeah, I agree. Like, so I've just got into the hobby, right? And I spent, I think it was 57 quid on the Titus box set, which came with his Wardens as well, which is obviously quite expensive. I think it was like 37 quid on Necron Amateur, and then the 500 Worlds Necron box set. That was, well, fortunately I didn't get it from the Games Workshop website. I went and got it from a third-party website for like 82 quid. But on the Games Workshop website, it was like £105, which is insane. Absolutely insane. So, but Bruce, you say second edition. One thing I do want to do on the channel, being a Necrons fanboy, is I want to start getting some of like the old school minis. And I've had a look on eBay. You can get like the old school Necron metal minis. Like you've got the Necron Warriors from second edition. I think you've got some Immortals and a Warlord in second edition. They're all metal. They're like 20-30 quid a pop on eBay. But I'd love to get my hands on one of them. I'm no like epic painter or anything like that. I'd just love to get my hands on a couple of them and paint them, to be honest with you. Some old school minis would be really cool, in my opinion. Right, so that was 23. Where's 22? 22 is right there. Let's get that unclipped so we can get it ready to go on to Destroyer number 2. Right, this one looks slightly different to the other one in terms of how it goes on. Let's have a little look. Oh, that wasn't too bad, actually. Just a bit of glue in the back of this head here. That one was quite easy compared to the other one. The other one was really fiddly. There we go. Bam. Bam, bam, bam. Hold that for a second. You basically have to figure out which part of the hobby you want to dedicate to, because there's so much. Yeah, I think that's my biggest problem at the moment with the hobby, I would say. Not problem in the sense of like I've got a bone to pick with it. More in the sense of like I've played the video games and still want to play more of the video games. I've bought the books, which I want to get through, and I've obviously bought the minis, as you can see, which I'm starting to work my way through as well. And then there's the lore. I do apologise, my dog. I've got a brand new puppy, so if you can hear barking in the background, that'll be my new puppy. For anyone who's wondering what all that noise is, I do apologise. I like Dawn of War 1, some novels, and second edition 40K. I usually get my stuff from eBay. Yeah, see? I just mentioned eBay a moment ago, so I want to get some second edition Necrons. I want to get some third edition. Basically, I want to work my way through the editions. I want to get some old school Warhammer stuff, basically, and build up a bit of a Necron collection from like 2nd edition onward, if possible. Yeah, about 10 years ago, the old bits on eBay were affordable. Now, ever since GW upsized, the old bits have skyrocketed. Oh, really? That would explain why when I'm seeing all that stuff for like, it was like I think it was like one metal Necron warrior from 2nd edition was like 15-20 quid. But they were all priced at that much, to be honest with you. They were all priced at that much. Yeah, it's a long way from 2nd edition until now. I make a lot of conversation with 2nd edition, bits specifically with CSM. But I did make a Space Beastman army, and do you know what? Again, being the new guy to Warhammer, I have absolutely no idea what any of that means. So I do apologise. I do have a Discord. No pressure to join. This is just me being curious. If you do have access to Discord, I have a link on my page, and there's a channel on my Discord where everyone basically shares their miniatures, like finished miniatures, in progress miniatures, etc., etc. So feel free to share them on there, because I have absolutely no idea what a Space Beastman army is, or a Tyrillian dog soldiers, if I'm pronouncing that correctly. But I want to know what they are. So if you use Discord, please do share it on there. If not, I'll have a look on Google after the stream. Do you have any set plans going forward for your channel over the next few months? Yes, I do. So the plan is, over the next few months, is to, without being like boring, is to pretty much do what I've already been doing. So to put that into perspective, over the next few months, I want to react to several different videos. So the bricky videos, the animations that have been mentioned. I want to do assembly videos like these, painting videos. I want to do book reviews for the books that I'm reading at the moment. When some of the new Warhammer games come out, I'll probably do some live streams for the Warhammer games as well. So like a real spread of different things, to be honest with you, across the channel, just to sort of meet everyone's wants and needs, which I thought people might enjoy. What do you think of that as a bit of a plan? 2nd edition Necrons are limited. Games, books, minis, lore channel. You have to basically sign away your life to the hobby. Yeah, this is pretty true. Yeah, Beastmen are usually in the old world. Right, okay, that would be why I'm not familiar. I just gave them 40k weapons. Dog soldiers are admittedly really old canon. They're like space lizards. Okay. The new Red Corsair character set has... is that... You know when you say has a dog soldier, are you talking about the Huron Blackheart box set where it has like 6 or 7 miniatures in it, and then there's like that lizard character with a dog? I know that might sound like really obvious for me to say that, but is that what you're referencing? Because if you are, then that would make sense. I think they just made new Beastman minis. Have you seen Astartes and They Shall Not Know Fear? No, I haven't seen Astartes or They Shall Know No Fear. But off the back of doing the Bricky video, I've had lots of people recommend that I should watch it. So I've added it to my list of videos to react to. So over the next few weeks, I should have a reaction video up on the channel for those 2 animations that you mentioned. They've come very highly recommended, so I'm looking forward to watching them. I really want to watch them now, but I also want to watch them for content as well. So I will be posting reaction videos to those over the next few weeks. Yeah, Huron and company. Yeah, lizard character. Yeah, see, I am a massive fan of Huron Blackheart and the Red Corsairs. They are my like favorite evil faction or chaos faction, if you want to call it that. And I would love to one day build a Huron Blackheart and Red Corsairs miniatures army. I'd love to. I really, really would. But given how expensive this hobby is, we'll have to wait and see, I suppose. Righty then. So, piece number 20 is what we're looking for now, which is there. Let's make sure that doesn't need any filing. Where have I... Oh, it's right there. Those are really good cinematics. Astartes is like 12 minutes, and they Shaun of the Dead is 19 minutes, both on YouTube and amazing. Yeah, what I did was, after they were recommended to me, I basically made like a private playlist, and I went and found them, and I added them to the playlist. So they're like sat there on my YouTube right now, just teasing me. And like I say, I really want to watch them, but I'm holding off. I'm holding off for the time being. It'll only be a week or two before I watch them anyway, so it doesn't matter. The original Dawn of War cinematic is fun too. I'll check that out. Definitely check them out. A must watch for new people under the banner. Okay, I'll check that out. I'll have a look after I've finished streaming tonight. Once I put all these dudes together, I'll check the Dawn of War cinematic out, because I haven't seen it. I don't know what it is, to be honest with you. So I'll check that out for sure. All right, there we go. He's in there. There we are, lovely. This guy's coming together quite nicely so far. I made 20 conversions of Red Corsairs a while back. I gave the Malhorn helmets, waist capes, and all kinds of weapons from different factions, since they're pirates. Yeah, they just seem like super cool to me, man. An absolute must. Astartes. So number 1, Astartes. Number 2, and They Shall Not Know Fear. So do Astartes first, and then the secret level episode, is it? They're wonderful. Paris Nexus is cool too. Paris Nexus is the animation that's available on the Warhammer Plus TV subscription thingy. Is that right? I think someone told me about that previously. Being a Necrons fan as well, it's, an obvious one to watch, right? So, you know what? I probably should add that to my list, shouldn't I, of things to watch. Would it get... Because I know Warhammer are really funny with people watching stuff on YouTube in terms of like copyright. Do you reckon I could get away with watching that one on YouTube with a reaction, or do you reckon they'd be funny with watching it? Original Dawn of War cinematic is only like a minute long or so. It was one of the first animations of 40K, unless you count Final Liberation. Not heard of Final Liberation. Is that another one that I should be looking at? Final Liberation, would you say? Or is it like a kind of just like a... You could get away with not watching it, if you know what I mean. So that is piece number 25 that goes on, I want to say, this side. Can't wait for you to see the animation of 40K in general. There's a lot out there. Don't know much about the website, but Warhammer Plus seems to have a lot of really cool stuff. Yeah, I've seen some of the trailers for the stuff on the 40K Plus stuff. That's why I knew about Prior Nexus, and it does look really cool, actually. Even some of the non-40k stuff looks pretty cool, to be honest with you. Lol, when our new chaplain read this chat afterwards, he'll feel so far behind in knowledge. I'm already there, Ken. I'm already there, mate. Honestly, I'm reading this now with like a big smile on my face. If there was like a meme of like a smile on my face at the front and then like a fire in my brain, that would be a meme right now. Don't know about copyright things. Prynexa seems to be copyright. Yeah, it's a shame really, because the trailer looks really cool. Final Liberation is really old 40k game. Oh, it's a 40k game. Okay. I'm like a massive gamer nerd as well. So surprised I haven't heard of that. Low quality computer game. Okay, I'll check it out. There are also short films and full-length movies people have made on YouTube, like Hell's Reach. Hell's Reach, is the, is it like 2 hours long? Because if that's the one I'm thinking of, I've added it to my watch list, because someone told me about watching that. I haven't watched it yet. I'm not sure if I should do another reaction video on it, because I wanted to make sure I got the right one. But is that the one? Am I referencing the right one? It's about 2 hours-ish long. Fan-made, yeah. Hell's Reach is so long. Ah, yeah, I must have the right one then. So many other fan animations too. 40k has more lore than Star Wars, Star Trek, and Lord of the Rings combined. Jesus. Well, I obviously, like a lot of people, I grew up watching Star Wars. I've seen everything Star Trek you can possibly imagine. All the old films, all the new films, every TV series you can possibly imagine. Like, I was a humongous Star Trek nerd growing up. Like, big time. Hell's Reach is 2.5 hours. Jesus. Yeah, so I have got the right one then. That's good to know. That might be one that's too long to do a reaction video for. Maybe not. Maybe not. 26. Ta-da. Right, let's get this one filed down. But yeah, the Hell's Reach stuff was recommended to me in the Bricky comments by someone as well. I don't know if that's worth doing a reaction to, or maybe that could be one I just watch, like, in my own time, potentially. I don't know. Because if it's one I'm going to watch all the way through, say, without stopping and reacting to it, that's fine. But I'd imagine I'd probably going to stop a couple times to, like, add my 50p's worth on my lack of knowledge about what this is and what that is and etc. And Grimdalus is a beast. Can't say I've come across that one. What's that one about? 40k came out nearly 40 years ago. Since then, so much literature has been put out. Yeah, isn't there like over 500 books? Haven't Black Library put out like over 500 books? Or I've got 9. Yay. I got so far to go. Saying that Bricky video that I done as well, the amount of different books I've been recommended is like insane. Some of the books that I've been recommended I already have, in terms of like where a starter should make their starting point. But there's a lot of other books in there as well that I haven't heard of, because when I was looking at books to buy, I just went and had done some research on the best place to start, and it was either Horus Heresy, Dark Imperium, and then there was some other like random short story stuff that people recommended as well. So I basically just bought all of it, as you do. Horus Heresy is a fun aspect. Yeah, that's where I'm at right now. Horus Heresy, I'm reading Horus Rising right now. I've got about 40-50 pages left of Horus Rising before I move on to the next one. I got the first 3 books in that series. Sounds about right, at least 300 plus short stories. Their monthly magazine, White Dwarf, is always full of lore. Yeah, I've seen the White Dwarf stuff. First 3 books are so good. Yeah, I bought the first 3 books because I didn't know like what to do. I didn't know if I was going to enjoy that part of the timeline or not. But like hand on heart, Horus Rising, I'm absolutely loving. And I apologize in advance for anyone who hasn't read the books, but I've basically got to the part where they were on a planet which they have called Murder, and it's essentially giant spiders that they're fighting, and what's his name now? Horus' sons have basically come down onto the planet to save the day, and they've just come off the planet after saving the Emperor's children, is it? And they've now bumped into another faction who are humanoid, who were basically sending them a message not to attack the planet. That's where I'm at, basically. Games Workshop started heavy with 40k back in the day, so we all started with 40k being aware that there were the Horus Heresy. Through the years, many different authors have filled in the gaps. Ah, right, okay. That would make sense. Yeah, because there's like 50 books, isn't there? That's right, isn't it? There's like 50 books. 26. Where's 26? Am I being blind? 15. Have I just done both those 20? Oh, don't look at 24. Just done 26. Silly sausage. You thought about doing streams of playing games with your community like Space Marine 2. Yeah, Winifred, funnily enough, and I don't mean to keep banging on about the Discord. I promise you I'm not pushing the Discord. It's only for people who are interested. But the 8 or 9 people that are on the Discord at the moment, the majority of them actually play Space Marine 2. And we've been talking over the last few weeks about getting a group together to play the new Tech Marine update. So if that's something you're interested in doing, you don't have to join the Discord for it, but when I stream the update, because it's free, isn't it? The Tech Marine update is it called Update 12 or whatever? Yeah, so whenever that's out and I stream it, then yes, whoever's watching and stuff, they can jump in. We can just have our own little our little squad, and we can argue over who's going to play Tech Marine. We can take turns over arguing who's going to get their chance to be Tech Marine, or maybe we can have like one turn each or something. I don't know, but that'd be fun. If you're interested in doing something like that, that is. We don't have the literature for Horus Heresy back in the 90s and early 2000s. It came out more recently. It's like Star Wars. We started in the middle, then went backwards to the Horus Heresy. Now it's Warhammer 42K. Yeah, so the Horus Heresy is kind of like the middle bit, right? Isn't it? Like you got the Horus Heresy, and then you've got the following 10,000 years, which is is it the Scouring? And then you've got the now part, which is basically like Gilliman and Lionel Johnson, and then before that you've got like the Age of Strife and the Dark Age of Technology, and then before that you've got like the Necrons and Eldar and blah blah blah. That's the take I've got from it, from watching the Bricky timeline video and then piecing together all of the comments that people have left on the video. Deadly Fear, hey, how you doing, bro? Thank you for stopping by. Hope you're well. What are you working on at the moment, my friend, if anything? How's it all going? Right, I just need to find a base for this guy. I think we've got one here. I'll put those to one side. And we'll get this guy clipped in. And that will be the second Skorpekh Destroyer of the 3 in this pack. So yeah, that's before I go back to your comments, that's number 3 right there, all done and dusted. So we've got 2 now. 2 guys. They look very different, which is cool. I like the fact that they look different, to be honest with you. I'd much prefer they look different than look all the same. So oh, I've just realized there we no, this way. Here we go. I'm just getting used to the camera a sec. Apologies. Are we down a bit? Are we down? Oh, there we go. There we go. There they are. In picture. Perfect. Cool. Right, we'll move on to the third and final one. But before we do that, I'll catch up on your comments. Even without a stream, we can organise a little game on disc sometime with whoever's available. 100%. Yeah, we don't have to do it on stream. We can just jump on and play Space Marine 2 or Dark Tide or any of the other Warhammer games that are multiplayer. So I'd be 100% down for that. Deadly Fear, I'm a lore master. Ask me anything. Of course I'm not. Well said. Well said. Lovely. I already did join when you first mentioned Discord. 2 great times arguing over who's going to be playing Tech Marine. It's going to cause arguments, isn't it? You know, like when you had that argument with brothers and sisters growing up, and caused fights. Who gets to play the blue character or the red character in whatever game you're playing? So that should be fun. We'll make the most of it, no doubt. Gilliman, the Lion, Russ, Vulcan, Dawn, etc. ought to duke it out for supremacy in 45. Yeah, because at the moment, from what I understand, Bruce, is like Gilliman's become like the default. What's the word for it? He's basically in charge now that the Emperor's on the throne. Is that right? Yeah. My money's on the Lion. The Lion and the Lion sent Gilliman a message, didn't he? So I do watch some YouTube channels, and I saw that apparently at the end of the 500 Worlds book, he'd sent Gilliman a message, didn't he, to meet up. But nothing has happened since then. So miniatures look so cool as terrifying. Yes, they do, don't they? They do look really cool. I can't wait to see what they look like painted, to be honest with you. But I'll share all of that on stream so you guys can see it. That'd be really cool. That'd be really, really cool. They look dope. Thank you very much. You're looking good, dude. Thank you very much. How long have you been in the community for, Deadly Fear? Good question. Nearly 3 years. Okay. How have you found being in the community for 3 years, Deadly Fear? Like, how much would you say being a member of the community for 3 years, like, how much of the lore do you know? We were talking earlier, like, if you had to start again, how overwhelming would it feel knowing what you know now? Because, like, being the newbie that I am, I have absolutely no idea what's around the corner except what's been recommended to me. Vulcan will just come back. See, I have no idea what that reference is. I've heard the name Vulcan, but I don't know what it means about him coming back. The Lion will appear in Dawn of War 4, so the Dark Angels may have a new poster boy. Do you have any finished painted miniatures to show us? Yes, I do. Let me grab you some in just a second. Vulcan is basically immortal. Okay. How just again, like, why is he immortal? Are all the Primarchs immortal then, are they? Or is it just him that's immortal from the Primarchs? Or am I missing something? Painting every week, very slowly. Probably read around 15 to 20 books because I like the lore. Oh, cool. That's good. See, I'm on that path as well. I'm in the process of finishing book 1. So, Vulcan is the Primarch of the Salamanders. Yeah, Rowboat Girly Man, as I like to call him, has been leading the Imperium as Lore Commander. There we are. That's the phrase I was looking for. Vulcan is the only immortal. Ah, okay. Why is he the only immortal compared to the others? See, this is where my knowledge is really limited. I'll leave that question there for you. I'll be back in 30 seconds whilst I go grab the miniatures that I have finished, okay? Okay. Right, I'm back. You probably caught sight of my pajamas yet again at the bottom. Right, let me catch up on the comments first, and then we will have a look at the miniatures I've already made. I mistakenly purchased 3 second-hand Firstborn Dark Angels a month ago. They were my first miniatures. Maybe it's a good time to collect more Dark Angel lore-wise. Yeah, it could be. From what people are saying in the chat, could be a pretty cool time to do it. Right, so it's a quirk of his gene seed mixing with the warp when his incubation pod was teleported through the warp to Noctane. He's a perpetual? He's a perpetual. Am I saying that right? A perpetual? What's a perpetual? You've opened a can of worms now. You've opened a can of worms. Right, okay. So here is my first ever miniature that I painted and put together. Let me see if I can get a bit closer with the camera. This is from the introductory box set. This is basically how I got into doing the miniature stuff. With this one, basically what happened is I primed him black, and then I stupidly watched a tutorial video and primed him in a second coat of paint in light blue. And then when I started painting him and made mistakes, the Macragge blue that came with the introductory set was a different colour blue to the one that I primed him in. So as you can probably see, the paint on this guy is pretty thick. So I wasn't entirely happy with how it came out. But as far as first models go, considering I've never done any miniature painting before, I can't complain. I was pretty happy with it. And then I put this guy together. Over the last 2 weeks, I've put this guy together, Necrosaur and Mantor. I dry brushed him the other day. I primed him in lead belcher silver, and then I painted all the bits in here. I can't remember the name of the black now. It wasn't Abaddon black. I think it might have been black. Black Legion, is it? And then the green in there, the green and white. I also painted the in between bits white first, and then green afterwards. And then I got is it Reekland Flesh Shade? But this one only had one coat of prime on it, so it's come out way better versus the Ultramarine that I just showed. So yeah, those are the I've only, like I said, I've done two Space Marines that aren't very great. One's got none oil in it, the other one hasn't, and then the Necrosaur guy. Those are the only ones I've done. Right, okay, just catching up on the comments. Perpetual is basically an immortal. Okay. I bought a DA box and I'm very hesitant to start them as my second army because it seems like they take the spotlight from the Ultramarines, and I don't want to play the popular thing. Am I weird? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know enough about the game to comment. Maybe you are weird, maybe you're not. We'll have to wait and see. An immortal, if he dies, he will eventually come back to life. The Emperor's also a perpetual, is he? Okay. So, see, this is where we're going to go down the rabbit hole, guys. You've opened up a can of worms now. So does anyone know that the Emperor's a perpetual then? Because he's on the throne, right? And he's being kept alive by sacrificing 1,000, is it 1,000 psychers per day? Wouldn't it just be, unless I'm sure I'm missing something, this is going to sound like a really stupid question for you guys who know the lore better than I do, but wouldn't it be better for them to let the Emperor die so that he can come back? because of what he could then bring to the table if he is a perpetual? Or what would happen, like, with what would happen if he did die? I'm assuming there's something would happen if he did die whilst they wait for him to come back, right? I have an entire third company of 2nd edition Dark Angels, 6 tactical, 2 assault, 2 devastators, 10 scout. Wow, that's a good bunch, that is. That sounds really cool. 172 minis. Jesus Christ. That's why I want you to jump on Discord, Deadly. Bruce, sorry. I do apologise for mixing you up. I'm getting so mixed up with all the names in the chat. So I can see your handiwork. The Amenta armour looks amazing. I didn't see it so well in the pictures. Maybe more light in the glow could help. Yeah, I needed to work on the glow effect. That's something I definitely want to work on. I think the Emperor is a pawn of chaos. Okay. Malcador knew, but he is not here anymore. Who's Malcador? I don't know who he is. There's a faction within the Inquisition having the same idea as you have right now. Okay. See? Great minds think alike. I like that. Thank you, Alex. I do appreciate it. It begs the question, though. If he is a perpetual, immortal, and he comes back, like, given what he can do, like, wouldn't it be more beneficial to have him around than not have him around, if that makes sense? Under the guise of humanity. Yes, if the Emperor dies, in theory, he should come back. It's a plot point of the book, Son of the Forest. Oh my god. I also did them 3rd Legion just because the Master is called Gabriel, like me. Gabriel? Which one am I going with? I started with Dark Angels because I like the colour green. Yeah, that's it. You got to go with the rule of cool, right? So if your favourite colour's green, that's why I like the Ultramarines. And I know a lot of people don't like the Ultramarines, but I like them purely because of Space Marine 2. I know, don't shoot me down. Don't kill me. Bucafelis? I would love to see your full dark. Oh, right. Okay. Bruce, you mean? Yeah. If he's immortal, then let the ghoul die and come back invigorated, not as a corpse emperor, Okay. If he die, we don't really know what happens. Maybe he's going to be reborn. There is a whole Star Child plot, so maybe he just reborn more powerful. But also Psycho is broken in many pieces. Perpetuals can and have died, but it is nigh impossible. The only perpetual I can think of who has died is Olinus Person. I've definitely butchered the pronunciation of that. Who was a regular sized human who was a close ally of the Emperor, or maybe he can become Dark King. To be honest, my 3rd company, it's not all painted. I've got 3 tactical, 1 devastator, 5 deathwing, a whole bunch of characters. The rest are assembled basic costs. Alunis Person sacrificed himself for the Emperor to save the Emperor when the Emperor faced Horus. Okay, I've got so much to learn. Like, the amount of stuff you guys are saying in the chat right now with regards to, like, lore and people and time frames, it's insane. It's actually, I kind of know some of it and heard of some of it, but I'm not going to sit here and say I know what everything you guys are saying. Like, I don't know. I genuinely wouldn't be able to tell you, to be honest. I have 3 tacticals with members, secondhand all the way, eBay. Yeah, lots of people have said about going secondhand now for stuff. Is that what I should have done? How long ago did you begin 40k? I started at the beginning of December, so I've only been doing this for like a couple months now. Not long at all. 12 and 13. Okay, there's 13. But I'm loving it. I am absolutely loving it. I know I've only been doing it for, 2.5 months. but I absolutely love what I'm doing. It's so cool, man. Right, so that's piece number 13. Where is piece number 12? Piece number 12 is there. Dun 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 dun. But I am Necron's main. eBay is on average about £10 cheaper on a sliding scale. Okay, I'll have to look into that, because you're not the first person to tell me now. Matt in the chat has also told me on several times about the second-hand market. So it's definitely something I need to look into for sure. 100%. Who army do you want to play, friend? Ultramarines or Necrons? I think to start with, because I've obviously got Necrosor. I've also got the 500 Worlds Necrons now, so there's 11 Necrons in there, and I also have a box of Lich Guards as well. So I'm gonna go Necrons first, see how it goes, and then if I don't like their play style or whatever, I'm gonna default back to either Ultramarines or Red Corsairs. But I don't have any Red Corsairs yet, so it would more than likely be Ultramarines, to be honest with you. Oh yeah, Malcador died whilst the Emperor snuffed out Horus sitting on the throne getting drained instead of the Emperor. Okay. Wow, so less than 3 months. Welcome to the Grimdark. Now, thank you very much, Bruce. I do appreciate it. I am like super new. Super duper new. Yeah, me and Matt, we started at the same time. And we're both collecting Necron, so it's cool that some of us are new and taking this journey together in learning this universe, and we rely on those that are more experienced, whether you've been in it for 3 years or 30 years, so that you can teach us the lore, and maybe you can also teach us some more about the tabletop game as well. Astartes, as soon as you're able, then yes, I'm going to do it. I'm definitely going to do it. 100% I'm going to do it. So that goes like that, I want to say. Ah, like that. Okay. I need to put some glue in that hole first. Most of this has been pretty straightforward tonight. Touch wood. I don't jinx it now. Righty then. Let's get that in there like so. Watch me jinx it now on this last one. Okay, I'm going to hold that there and read some more comments. Welcome, Matt. 1989, 1990 or so. I was born, not to make you feel old, Bruce, I was born in 88. So, but I'm glad that you're here, because I don't just want newbies as part of this community on the channel. I want it to be a mix of newbies who can take the journey alongside me, like me and Matt. And then I also want there to be veterans as well, who, as I say, can share their knowledge of the lore. So we can share lore stories, because the stuff that you guys have been saying tonight about like Perpetuals and Malcador, I didn't know about any of that, and it sounds so cool. Like, it makes me want to go on YouTube now and look at it all. So yeah, I want a mix of like new guys and veterans, so that we can all kind of like mix together nicely and share stories. Theories say the Emperor is coming back. Also, Malcador was the second in command of the Imperium because of having sacrificed himself to sitting on the Golden Throne. that the Emperor was later put on. Okay. Look at nail polish. It's very useful to remove grey stuff and mould lines, bro. Oh, right, okay. Would you not use the hobby knife for that? I'm not saying you're right or wrong. I have no idea. How would you use polish to remove... how would you use nail polish to remove grey stuff and mould lines? Like, what would be the process? Just so that I know what I'm doing. The group is pretty much friends, hanging out, showing their armies and the latest news. Yeah, exactly that, Matt. That's exactly what this community is all about. Sharing news, sharing armies, just chilling, being pretty cool. How would the Emperor come back? Like, heal or die and reincarnate? It's all good. I'm soon to be 49, born in 77. Oh, there we are. There's only 10 years between us. It's nothing, really. I enjoy guiding new fans, and I enjoy having someone like you around to guide us as well. It makes the hell of a difference. I just use 90% rubbing alcohol for cleaning bits. When you say cleaning bits, do you mean so the paint goes on better, or to get rid of like rough bits on the plastic or the resin? Let them soak for a week or so, then brush with a toothbrush. What? So like cut all the pieces off and then rub them in oil? Not oil, alcohol, is it? Golden throne that the Emperor sits on keeps him alive, while the Emperor can also power the Astronomicon, which is a beacon that guides ships through the warp. I'm going to stop lore dumping now. No, it's all good, Winifred, man. You dump as much as you want, my friend. I'm assuming that's why they haven't... For those that know that he's a perpetual, if he's like guiding ships, if he wasn't around and they didn't know how long he was going to be around for, what would guide the ships, right? Is that one of the reasons? Is that one of the reasons? Ken in 75. See? The old guard. That's what we need. We need people to dump their lore, regardless of age. Paint stripping. I buy used parts from eBay and have some old paint on. Right. Okay. No, thank you for sharing that, Bruce, actually, because some of the Necrons from 2nd and 3rd edition that I've seen on eBay, some of them are like already pre-painted. And some of them are like, some of those are actually cheaper than the non-painted ones. So would it be a case of, if I was to buy the cheaper ones, using, where is it, you said, rubbing alcohol to then clean the paint off of the older models so that I could then paint them myself? Is that it? Yeah, I use the hobby knife too sometimes, but nail polish is a game changer. It's automatic and you just point the thing to the minute. Oh, okay. I'll have to have a look at that. No. For old parts with paint on them, I repurpose old parts for conversion work. Right. Gotcha. Yeah, you'll need to strip the paint. Cool. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. That's exactly what I was thinking. Without the Emperor on the throne, no one would guide the ships through the warp. Also, the Emperor on the throne also keeps the warp rift under the throne closed, so no demons can come through. So it's like a double-edged sword then, isn't it? You're caught between a rock and a hard place in the sense of, yeah, we want the Emperor to come back, but then we don't know how long it would take for the Emperor to come back if we went down that road, and there'd be no one to basically do those things that you mentioned in terms of being the guiding the ships, stopping the demons from coming through, and the warp rift and stuff. Interesting. That does sound like a rock on a hard place, that does. Don't use acetone on plastic. It will dissolve the plastic. Just use rubbing alcohol or some other appropriate solvent. Thank you for letting me know, because I was going to research this, and you've just saved me a massive job of researching this exact potential issue that I might have faced. because it's something I'm really interested in doing. I really want to get some old, old school Necrons and build them up. The Emperor became more of a spirit to guide humanity, as he has talked to people in their minds before, like the Rise Son of Guilliman at the end of Space Marine 2. Do you use ultrasonic cleaner to remove paint? There's also the Dark Imperium. His version only goes so far. When you say there's also the Dark Imperium, do you mean the book series, the Dark Imperium, sorry? Because I have that. I have the first 3 books. I haven't read them yet. But I've got them there waiting. I've got them there waiting for me to... Piece number 14. Aha. I've not been doing much assembly, have I? I've been doing a lot of talking with you guys, but I love it, to be honest. It's like we're doing a little mini, like, lore live stream. I've found it really cool, actually. I love the fact that we come on stream to do one thing, and then we end up talking about something completely different. Right. I'm going to file this bad boy down quickly, and then I can catch up with chat again then. It's going so fast. Old paintbrush. I'm old school, simple tech. Yeah, got nothing wrong with that. Exactly. They can't kill him as he's needed. But if he could leave the throne and die, should live again in theory. It's also not clear in what state of mind the Emperor is, and if he even would come back sane. And there's also a cool scenario: if the Emperor ever moves from the throne, the Grey Knights have a specific order to kill him. At the same time, the Custodies have the complete law to protect him. Jesus Christ, that's another civil war right there, no? Dark Imperium trilogy is against the Death Guard, right? It's on my wish list. I've got it. I've got the trilogy. I have no idea if it's against the Death Guard. I haven't read it yet, but it was recommended to me as a place to start. So I took it, basically. I think the surviving Primarchs should... Oh, hold on. Sorry, I think the surviving Primarchs even should duke it out for supremacy in 45k. Meanwhile, the Emperor gets broken-hearted and dies just when the Primarchs get to the pinnacle of their civil war. That's an interesting way. That could happen. We're not far off that, are we? The Emperor arrives to regain control. Okay. The Orcs win it all in the end anyway. There we are. It's the end of the humans. Okay, how does this fit? Sorry guys, I will get to the chat in a second. I'm just trying to work out how to do... Aha! I got it. Right. I got it. That was a bit of a confusing one there for me. I worked it out in the end though. Haha. Right. I'll hold that together and I will read the rest of these comments. The Astronomicon was cut off from half the galaxy when the Great Rift opened, which spread across half the galaxy. The warp storms summoning huge amounts of chaos forces. Jesus. The Great Rift. I don't know what the Great Rift is. I'm assuming the Great Rift is something because you put it in capital letters at the start. Dark Empyrean is part of the galaxy that the Astronomicon can't reach due to the Warp Rift. Ah, right, now Bruce is saying Warp Rift as well. So I don't know what the rift is. The Great Rift, the Warp Rift. If Bricky mentioned this in the lore video, I can't remember it. It was a lot to take in, to be honest with you. There was a lot of information. I do remember some stuff, obviously, but... Okay, so we need 9, 10, and 11. So 9 is here. That's 9. Let's shave that puppy down. The Great Rift open the Great Rift opened as of the planet Cadia falling to Abaddon the Despoiler. Right, I know Abaddon. He was part of Horus's crew. I forgot what they're called now. So I know who Abaddon is. Which destroyed Necron pylons on the planet that kept a lot of the warp storms at bay. I could go on. I love it. This is what I love about this universe. There's so much lore, and it's so like grimdark / sci-fi, and I'm a massive sci-fi guy, so I can't wait to digest it all, to be honest. I'll eventually get there, or at least I'll get to grips with the basics, if you want to call it the basics. Where is number 10? There is number 10. Yeah, I can't wait to get a better understanding, to be honest with you. And everything you guys are going on about in the chat tonight, all it makes me want to do is read my books even more and go on YouTube and watch loads of lore videos, to be honest. You know, like back in the day, remember, like, I don't know, I'm sure this happened to people, but like, you remember like back in the day, like if you missed like a week of school because you were ill or something, and then you go back into school and you're trying to catch up on what's happened, and all this mad stuff has happened, and you can't relate to any of it, you don't know what anyone's on about, but all this stuff has happened whilst you've been away, and you kind of just got to like find a way to catch up. That's what it feels like at the moment. You've got 40K galaxy with a giant scar across the visible sky called the Cicatrix Maledictum, giant warp rift. You also have the Eye of Terror, portal into the warp, and the Maelstrom. I know I know of the Maelstrom, and that's the reason I know how to pronounce that word, because of the Huron Blackheart stuff. A warp storm. Abaddon leads the Black Legion, formerly Lunar Wolves. That's the one. That's what I couldn't remember. Lunar Wolves, when Horus was still loyal. Yeah, and that's how I know about that stuff, is because of the book that I'm reading at the minute. Finish the Scarabs. We'll post later. Yeah, post them. I definitely want to have a look at that, because I don't actually have any Scarabs, so I really want to look at what they see. I really want to see what they look like. It's a lot to begin with. Yeah, I'll get there. I think the plan is, once I've got the Bricky videos out the way, and then the animations that you guys have recommended even, this evening, once I've got that stuff out the way, I'll start watching a lot more lore, like off stream, and on stream as well, obviously. And then I'll definitely be more up to speed with some of the stuff that you guys you've mentioned, because when I looked at the channels, when I looked at the amount of videos on the channels that have been recommended to me, there is so much content, or so many stories to digest, if you want to call it that. I can just digest that as before bed. I know a lot of people like to fall asleep, as I've been told in the comment section. A lot of people like to fall asleep to an audio book or fall asleep to a YouTube video in the background, going through all the lore. So I probably end up being guilty of that myself, to be honest with you. Alrighty then, let's get that in there. Lovely. And then I'm going to assume that this bad boy goes in there like the other ones did. Alright, let me get this in, and then I'll go back and look at the comments. 2 seconds. So I can see there's a few more comments in the chat. Lovely. Check out Orcs War is Life by Luton. You'll love it. It's great reacting to as well. Okay, I'll check that out. Yeah, definitely. I'll tell you what, as I'm waiting for that to glue now, I shall copy and paste that comment and put it into Google, as I have done with some of the other comments that I've seen this evening. There we are, I've just found it. And I'll add it to my my watch list. Thank you very much. Right, what else have we got? Whilst we're waiting for that to glue in properly. I love the old Lunar Wolves colours. Pale grey with black and gold trim. Gonna make some Horus Heresy models of Lunar Wolves. I don't like the pale green as the Sons of Horus. Yeah, I kind of like, I'm not gonna lie, I kind of like the Lunar Wolves a little bit from the book that I've read so far. I know it all goes Pete Tong in the end. I'm aware of that. I don't know the ins and outs and the intricacies of what happens and how it happens, but I'm aware of what eventually happens, obviously. All right, 2 secs, guys. I'm just going to nip to the loo very quickly. Right, sorry about that. I am back now. Right, what were we saying? Remnant of the Chaos. Evening, my friend. Thanks for stopping by. How are we doing? How are you doing, my friend? Right, let's have a little look at the rest of these comments before I carry on with the assembly. Even thought I knew everything I said. I still had to Google most of it to clarify. There's so much lore, I forget the names of things. Yeah, that would make sense. You've got to double check what you're referencing, I suppose. Is there a fan-made that you guys recommend for JC to react to without copyright problems? Good shout, Matt. Thank you for the suggestion. Lawkeeper's Librarium for Sleep Lore. Yes, I will be there very, very soon. I get my brain fried every time I search up more lore. I know there's some of the comments. I won't read the comments that you guys are talking to each other back and forth about. Cool. Remnant doing good, painting some Carcharodons. Oh, cool. As the stream suggests, I'm assembling some Necrons this evening, more specifically Skorpekh Destroyers. I'm on my third one. I've done 2 already as well. We're pretty cool. I've got 1 left to go. So how are you getting on with painting your is it Carcharodons or Charcharodons or Carcharodons? I'm butchering the pronunciation 100%. 100%. I know I am. Carcharodons. Perfect. Yes. The reason I ask is I am super new to Warhammer. So I get stuff wrong. I do get stuff wrong. Okie dokie. Time to put one of the legs on. Piece number 16. Oh, I forgot to clip a piece. Silly me. There we go. We can file that down now. Welcome to the hobby. Thank you very much. Yeah, Necron's my first army. And I'm making my way through the lore as well. I've been doing some lore reaction stuff over on my my YouTube channel. And some other stuff on there as well. But how's the army going? What have you got? How much have you got of your army, if that makes sense? Let me know. Right, so 16 I think goes on like that there. Yeah. I can suggest a book, The Infinite and the Divine, if you like Necrons. Yes, I've had that suggested to me quite a bit, actually, to the point where I've actually picked it up. And also the Twice Dead King. Yeah. But look, you see, as I said it, you wrote it in the comment section. So, yeah, I've got both of those. A couple of other not Necron books as such, but a couple of other books that feature Necrons have been suggested to me as well, which I might pick up at some point, which would be quite cool. Stormwardens, a unique one. Carcharodons. Why Necrons? I just went with the rule of cool, to be honest with you. I wanted to... Prior to realising how expensive the hobby was, the original plan was to build 3 factions, and I wanted to build 1 Loyalist faction, 1 Xenos faction, and then 1 Chaos faction, and it was going to be Ultramarines for Loyalists, Necrons for Xenos, and Red Corsairs for the Chaos stuff. And then I realised how expensive it was, so I went with Necrons as the ultimate rule of cool in my book, to be honest with you. Don't get me started on the space sharks. Their chapter master, Tiberius, is allegedly 10 feet tall, which makes him like the tallest space marine besides the Primarchs, which he beats in height in most cases. That's nuts. Wow, I always thought the space sharks are more like a gimmick, but that's just me. Remnant here. Just moved over to YouTube so I could see the other comments. Oh, that's no worries, bro. Yeah, there's a lot more going on YouTube, Remnant. It seems like YouTube is significantly more popular this evening versus Twitch. So, yeah, whichever suits you. I'm live on both, so Carcharodons are in my to-do list. Yeah, I've heard that Carcharodons are very popular. Very, very popular. Yeah, Tiberius had to have dreadnought armor used for making his armor because he was massive in size. That's madness, that is. He was so big that they had to basically make custom-made armor for him. Jesus. That's crazy. That is crazy, crazy. Aha, there it is. I didn't realise that one of the last pieces was all the way up there. I was looking for it then. I thought I'd have to go to a different sprue to make the rest of this guy for a second then. It's like Sharknado. People just like the idea of sharks in space. That film, if you haven't seen it, it's an absolute classic. Sharknado. You won't be disappointed. Or Snakes on a Plane or Cocaine Bear. Yeah, they're all the same, but they're different. Yeah. I have 3D printed him to proxy as Gilliman. He's almost double the size of my regular Marines. Ooh, I would like to see that. Remnant. No pressure. I've mentioned it a few times on stream. I have a Discord. Link is on my YouTube channel. If you use Discord, there's a channel on there which says like minis in progress and along those lines. So if you do want to, feel free to join the Discord and send some pictures of your 3D printed guy. I'd love to see that because that sounds really, really cool. Like really, 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 really cool. Well, looking good. Have a great night all. Oh, thanks, Ken. Really, really, really appreciate you coming along. And yeah, hopefully we'll see you again when it comes to those other reaction videos or whenever we stream again next. So, surprised you haven't heard some barking yet. Funnily enough, she's running around in the background squeaking a toy right now. So you might have heard that instead. She's literally running up and down with her toy, squeaking. Right. But yeah, good night, Ken. Shows could carried on since the aquafish and mammals are within my field of education as a biologist. Oh, there we are. You got a reference point. That's cool, man. Bro just had a massive growth spurt. Was probably 6 foot tall when he was 10. No, it's cool. That is really, really cool. Haven't painted him yet, as I don't have him in my list. Such a cool thing. Yeah, agreed. What loyalist chapter would I do? Because Space Marine 2 was kind of like my segue into the... sorry, my dog wants to play ball a sec. Yeah, because Space Marine 2 was like part of the segue into the hobby, I'm like slightly tempted to maybe do Ultramarines. But I also appreciate the way Ultramarines are looked at, shall we say, within the community. So if I weren't going to do Ultramarines, I don't know. I do quite like the lore of the Blood Angels, but then I don't want to do Blood Angels because they're red and so are the Red Corsairs. So I'm kind of like, maybe I should do something different. I do kind of like Dawn as well, because he's been introduced in the first book that I'm reading at the moment. So the Imperial Fists, I do quite like the Imperial... Maybe I'd go Imperial Fists. I don't know. It's difficult. Maybe I'd go Imperial... My dog is just biting me. Okay. Right, 2 seconds. 2 seconds. All that barking you can hear is my dog going nuts. Shh, shh, shh. Come here. Shh, 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 shh. Yeah, I'm just calming my dog down a second. I do apologise. This is only a puppy. I've only had her for about a month. Just catching up on the chat. I know some of the comments are to each other, so beside the Storm Wardens, my favourite is Alpha Legion. I bet Carvel plays Titus in the Amazon gig. Yeah, I reckon you're right on that one. I reckon you are right. Oh, my dog's still going nuts. Right, down. Right, 2 seconds. I'm just going to put my mic on mute a second. Right, there we are. My dog's finally calmed down. What's the dog's name? Bo. It's a girl. She is about, I want to say, 4 months old. Yeah, about 4 months. Doggy reveal. If the siege bombardment stuff tanks, yeah. You've posted a picture in the Discord. Oh, thank you. I'll check that out. I definitely will check that out. 100%. Yeah, as soon as I'm finished on stream, I'll 100% go and have a look. I really do appreciate anyone who's posted anything in the Discord this evening. Because it just helps me with the stuff that I'm doing, you know. It gives me ideas on stuff that I can do with my guys as well. So I really do appreciate it for anyone who has posted anything. Plus, as well, you know, I can't 3D print, but it's nice to see it because it's just cool, isn't it? To be honest with you. The 3D print on the Discord is sick. Oh, you're making me want to go and have a look at it now. I will have a look at it, though. I promise you. I really, really promise you I'll have a look in a moment. Yeah. I'm going to be messaging less as my nose just picked up out of nowhere and I'm coughing my arse off. You'll remain to enjoy the stream. Oh, Winifred, honestly, if you're feeling like absolute bag of... Don't feel obligated to stay on stream. But if you want to, obviously, you know, you're more than welcome to. I really do hope you get better because it sounds horrible. What have you got? The old man flu that the women don't understand, or something a bit more... Ugh. I have a co-worker male named Bo. Oh, really? But yeah, I do hope you feel better soon, man, because it sucks being ill. It really does. Right then, I think this might be the last piece of the Skorpekh Destroyer, if I'm even pronouncing that right. I was going to say, there's so much glue in here. Why isn't it coming out? I know why. There we go. Let's try that again. Okay. Is it blocked or something? I think it might be blocked. Let's try that again for the third time. It doesn't want to come out. Epoxy thing. There we go. I accidentally blocked it up. Typical me, eh? Haha. In he goes. Now, I need to find his base. Pariah Nexus has some really cool scenes with Necrons. Yeah, I definitely need to check that out at some point. Like a lot of people have said, I think including yourself, Bruce, it's going to be copyrighted to hell, isn't it, on YouTube? So I might just watch that away from YouTube, as in like not do a reaction to it. Like not everything's going to need a reaction, is it? I can do stuff, you know, myself. So I might even watch it later, actually, to be honest with you. Got passed around my family. My mum had it worst. I was bedridden Friday night, most of Saturday, as a lot of it was muscle pains. I should be fine. Still young person, immune system. Oh, it could be something that's going around at the moment, do you think, Winifred? Like a flu, cold thing that's going around? That sucks. I really do hope you feel better soon, my friend. I really do. Have you played Dawn of War, Dark Crusade, and Soulstorm feature Necrons as a faction you can play? No, I haven't played Dawn of War, but I have seen the trailers for the new Dawn of War, which I'm hoping to pick up. Because I've seen like gameplay and trailers of the Dawn of War games prior to the new one, and it looks like a game that I'd like to play. Hopefully the Necrons are in the new one. That'd be nice. Sloth Newbie, have the chaplain learnt the balance of building, painting, and talking to chat since the last stream? I wonder. So far, seems so. Yeah, I'm getting there. I've also got a new stand as well, which has helped with the placement of where I'm holding things. So I'm getting there very, very slowly. But that is the third and final Skorpekh Destroyer. I'm hopefully going to hold that in a much better place for everyone to see. There's all three of the bad boys. That's what we've been working on this evening. And I'll be looking to prime these up probably in the morning so that I can do a painting stream of these three at some point next week, to be honest with you. How close are we to the completed army? Oh, we are miles away. So I've just put these three together. I've still got to put together Hold on. I've got to put together the Hexmark Destroyer, 3 Locust Heavy Destroyers, 3 Ophidian Destroyers, and also the Lich Guard, 5 Lich Guard that I've got. So I've still got quite a bit to do, if I'm honest with you. But I have finished painting this guy, Sloth Newbie. Finished painting him. I did some dry brushing off stream. I didn't want to do a whole stream just to dry brush this dude. I do obviously have to complete the base, but again, I'll do that off stream. It's not something that you guys are going to want to watch, is it? Someone sat there painting a base. So, but yeah, that guy's done. That's the only one that is done from the Necron stuff. Just reading down some of the comments on YouTube quickly. Dawn of War 1 is fun. The original Winter Assault, Dark Crusade, and Soulstorm. I haven't played the second or third one. I'll have a look at it, because I do think my laptop will probably play the first one, because it's not as new, so it's not going to need as much power to run, so to speak. Matt, yeah, thanks for posting the scarabs. I will take a look at those bad boys once we're finished on the stream. Destroyer's looking so cool. Looks awesome, man. Oh, thanks, guys. I really do appreciate it. I've just got to put this one last dude together now. The Canoptic Plasma Scythe. I'm definitely butchering that. But yeah, I just got to put this guy together now, and then we're done, right? 28 and 27. So there's 28. And we'll file this down first, so it looks nice. Get all those nasty bits out the way. Just to make make a joke about your shirt, but they haven't been doing bad at all recently. Yeah, we've not been doing bad. Can't complain. sit here on our tails. We've got to be careful. But yeah, we've been doing all right recently, so can't complain. Can't complain at all. Steam has Dawn of War. How much is it, roughly? How much is it at the moment? It can't be much, surely, because it's quite an old game, right? I'd imagine. I could be wrong. Right, okay, that's piece 28. I need piece 27. Okay, this is a funny old piece, isn't it? Okay. There's a lot of connections on this. Jesus. Okay. Aha, that came out pretty easy, actually. I thought that was going to be a lot tougher than it was. Yeah, I do enjoy the Warhammer games. I've got Dark Tide downloaded as well. One game that I actually really like is the Mechanicus game. But you can only play Mechanicus, can't you, on the Mechanicus game, even though it's against the Necrons. And I think Mechanicus 2, you can actually play both the Necrons and the Mechanicus. So I'm going to get Mechanicus 2 so I can play the Necrons. How many points are you going to make? I don't know. But on the last stream that we done, we worked out that I'm on approximately 500 points at the moment, and I don't have all of the models that I want. I do want to try the tabletop game at some point, but I'm not sure if I'm going to just collect a really big, cool-looking army with as many pieces as possible, or collect an army with a view to having the tabletop in mind. Because I kind of just want like one of each for the Necrons at the moment. That makes sense. So I'll get like one pack of Warriors, one pack of Immortals, one Chronomancer, or whatever they're called. Like basically one pack of each. And then once I've done that, I might just move on to the next faction. But at the same time, I might end up not doing that. I might end up doing that, but then with a view to building an army properly so that I can use it on the tabletop, if that makes sense. 500, is that good for Kill Team? I only play 2nd edition and the norm was 2,000 points. However, the point values were very different back then. These days, I just collect what I think looks cool. That's literally what I'm doing. I'm literally just collecting what looks cool. And we only worked out that it was 500 points last stream, just more out of curiosity, to be honest with you, than anything. So I don't know if it's good for a kill team. It could be. Again, I'm aware of what a kill team is, but I don't know how a kill team works, if that makes sense. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you do you. Exactly that. I think we're on the same page, to be honest with you, Bruce. It's a case of just going with the rule of cool for now, and then if I end up getting sucked into the game itself, then I might look at the points a bit more strategically in terms of like what units are good and what pieces are good to have. Because I think in the last stream, a few of the people that tuned in were saying that it'd be really good if I had a one of the Catans for the tabletop. Apparently it's supposed to be really good and really powerful for tabletop stuff. Sloth Newbie completed the Space Marine 2 story yesterday after a couple of days of playing. Insane scenery, we'll say. Oh yeah, the campaign is sick. It's really good. And now you get to grind the end game, which is going through, the operations, so you can unlock all the really cool weapons and stuff in the game. That's really good as well. I think there's like 12 operations at the moment, and then you've got siege mode. We are all planning on jumping on at some point so that we can do it together and have a laugh. So that would be pretty cool. Games Workshop have come up with a new edition of 40k on average every 3 years for 30 years. They're now working on 11th edition. Yeah, I did hear the 11th edition is supposed to be coming out in either spring or summer. I wasn't aware up until recently that they worked on 3-year cycles, to be honest with you. That was only something I learnt really, 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 really recently. And would you look at that? A clean sprue. Not one single piece left in the sprue. Let's go. Right, I think once I've completed this dude in the next 5-10 minutes, I'm going to wrap the stream up because I've got to get the kids to bed. Yeah, don't go over there. Don't go. I'll get loads of followers. Yeah, after I finish this, probably going to wrap things up so I can get the kids to bed. And then we can look at working on getting these bad boys painted on the next stream. Could potentially do it tomorrow or midweek maybe. But it's a good starting point. And there we go. Let's get that in. I remember there being an app called New Recruit, which I believe you could use to configure an army. Yeah, that's the one we used actually. I've got it saved on my bookmark. One of the guys who tuned in last week knew there was New Recruit and there was another one as well. I can't remember the name of it now. But yeah, apparently it's pretty cool. That's what we used to work out how many points the army was worth. But yeah, like I say, it just depends now on whether or not I want to play the tabletop game or I just want to build a cool army. I haven't decided yet. I'm sure I'll try the tabletop game out at some point, just so that I can say I've given it a go. And if it isn't for me, then I'll just focus on building a really cool army instead, until I've got as much of the army as I need, and then I can move on to spending thousands of pounds on another army, which I'm sure my missus will be absolutely delighted with. Right, I'm just going to fold that in half now because that's where all the mess is. So I can take that to the bin. But those are the guys from tonight's stream. 3 Skorpekh Destroyers. And whatever that guy is. Let's move that back round so we can get a better picture. There we go. So yeah. No, the missus is not into Warhammer, unfortunately. If she was, that's a very dangerous game I'd be playing. Or should I say we'd be playing, if anything. Yeah, it will be good for building an army. So I think to start with, what I'm going to do is just kind of like buy one of each and sort of see where it goes. Looks like some very nice models. Thank you very much. I do appreciate it. Those are the guys we've built tonight. And I will prime them tomorrow so that we can paint them on the next stream. And then we'll work our way through each of these guys from the box set one by one then. You've got the Hexmark Destroyer, which is a single character, miniature. And then you've got the Lockhurst Heavy Destroyers. There's 2 of those. And then you've got the Ophidian Destroyers. There's 3 of those. And then you've got the Lich Guard. There's 5 of those. So we've still got another, 4 streams of assembling characters. 4 streams of painting those miniatures. And then we've also got the Titus box set as well that we need to assemble and paint. And then we've also... I haven't finished the introductory box set either yet. I've got another 3 Space Marines to paint as well. So there's loads to be getting on with. But as far as tonight is concerned, that is going to wrap up tonight's live stream. I really do appreciate everyone who has come along to spend their valuable time with me. Mostly filling me in on the lore, which has been really, really, really good. I do appreciate it, especially those of you that are ill. Winifred, in particular. Is it just the Necrons in the box set? Is Titus and the Ultramarine separate? Yes. So I've got the Battalion Necrons 500 Worlds campaign box set as one box, and then the Titus box set as another one. I think the Titus box set's got 7 miniatures in it. So they're separate boxes. But yeah, as I say, really do appreciate everyone coming along this evening and spending their time with me. And we'll be definitely doing another live stream next week, possibly 1 or 2 live streams where you guys can continue to fill me in with the old lore, the new lore, and everything in between. Maybe you can even help me with some of the painting as well, because my knowledge on that front isn't the best either. If you haven't dropped a like on the stream already, I'd really do appreciate it. Subscribe if you're new around here. And for all of those that are still here with me now, have a wonderful rest of your evening. Have a great week ahead of you as well. And hopefully I can catch some of you on the next stream as well. But for now, I am signing out for the evening. So, like I say, have a great evening. Take care, everyone. And I shall catch you next time. Take it easy, guys. Good night.